One of the most fear-inducing monsters of the big screen is arguably the vampire. Its bloodlust often has sexual overtones, making it an alluring nightmare, but a nightmare nevertheless. So what if it becomes a reality? I'm your host Raphael and thanks for watching. This is the series where I tell you a story, its subsequent theories and explanations, and then I let you make up your mind. If you like the weird, the wonderful, the creepy and the mysterious, you might want to subscribe to my channel and click the little bell to receive notifications. Also, if you enjoy this vid, you can like and share. We're about to tell the scary story of the Highgate vampire. Highgate Cemetery is the world-class high Gothic nature reserve on the steep incline up to N6, dating back to 1839. It contains 170,000 corpses. Most thrilling is the western side, only accessible by guided tour. Such is the frailty and beauty of its hillside location. Those Egyptian catacombs, the cedar of Lebanon. In the 1960s, the cemetery was dilapidated and prone to vandalism. David Farrant, a local bloke, was one of the intruders, who after spending a night there in 1969, wrote about seeing a grey figure which he believed was supernatural. Dozens of other folks started describing all manner of ghosts, from spectral cyclists to disembodied voices. Ghosts? I thought this was about vampires. Things took even a spookier turn when a man called Sean Manchester enthused about the existence of a king vampire of the undead, a medieval nobleman who had been buried on the site prior to its incarnation as a cemetery. The local press started to publish the stories. Does a vampire walk in Highgate? Ah, now we're on the right track. A group calling itself the British Psychic and Occult Society decided to investigate the Highgate vampire. They cast a protective circle and attempted to invoke the demon. However, the police had been warned. When they turned up, the society members scattered, but David Farrant, their president, was caught and arrested. He had a wooden stake in his possession. Farrant was acquitted because Highgate Cemetery was legally open to the public at any time of the day or the night. Well, at least he brought protection. In 1974, David Farrant was again in court when he was charged with malicious damaging a memorial, interfering with a dead body, attempting to influence witnesses, and, most seriously, possession of a firearm. No doubt he carried silver bullets. Oh, wait a minute, that's for werewolves. Sean Manchester of the British Occult Society was another one investigating the phenomena at the cemetery. He claimed to have discovered several girls with the traditional puncture marks on their necks. A couple of them even involuntarily sleepwalked. Manchester and his friends managed to make a hole in the roof of a tomb. Inside they found 3 empty coffins, which they sprinkled with garlic and holy water, and put a circle of salt around each one of them. But the mutilation of the corpses and the killing of small creatures did not end with this exorcism. Sometime later, the body of a woman was found, dragged from her grave, her head cut off, and a wooden stake driven through her heart. War on the vampires! I'm glad I missed it. In 1973, Sean Manchester claimed to have found the king vampire in a black casket in an abandoned house in Highgate. He described the occupant as having burning fierce eyes beneath black furrowed brows, stared with hellish reflection, yellow at the edges with blood-red centers. He drove a wooden stake through the ghoul's heart, covering his ears from the fearful scream as the body turned to brown slime. The casket and body were then burned on a bonfire. Events were so upsetting that they forgot to film anything. Idiots! They could have had the proof in their hands. Legends and myths of blood-drinking demons go back for millennia in nearly all cultures. But can they possibly be true? Canadian biochemist David Dolphin suggested a rare blood disease called porphyria may be the real reason behind the vampire legends. Porphyria suffers a lack of vital pigment in their blood. The ingestion of blood may be an attempt to replace this. Furthermore, porphyria sufferers can be acutely sensitive to light to the extent that their skin can blister and burn in the sunlight. While Spanish neurologist Juan Gomez Alonso had an alternative explanation in 1998. He noted that the symptoms of vampirism bore a striking resemblance to rabies. Rabies sufferers can become hypersensitive to light, water, and strong odors such as garlic. The disease attacks the central nervous system, often leading to the victim becoming demented, nocturnal, and even hypersexual, all qualities associated with vampires. So it's a disease? That's kind of disappointing. Others suggested medical causes for vampirism are pellagra, a chronic shortage of niacin that causes the victims to blister in sunlight, and tuberculosis, which causes pale skin and red swollen eyes and lips. But perhaps the most compelling real-world explanation for vampirism isn't physical, though, but psychological. Blood drinking and other vampiric rituals are a feature of many psychopathic and serial murderers. Richard Trenton Chase was nicknamed the Vampire Killer because he drank his victims' blood and ate their remains. They're crazy too. It only gets worse. Whilst there were many sightings of ghostly apparitions in and around Highgate Cemetery, dating back to its construction, the reports were diverse and inconsistent. It wasn't until the two central characters in the story, David Farrant and Sean Manchester, entered the fray that there was any suggestion of vampires. But perhaps the thing they have most in common is the complete lack of evidence. There is and remains nothing beyond the theatrical antics of the two men to suggest there was ever any kind of vampire prowling the decaying tombs of Highgate. Damn it! And I was so convinced! If the Highgate vampire really existed, could he be a psychopath who believed himself to be a vampire? Or were the psychopaths the ones doing the hunting? Some of the many questions you may need to ponder before you decide. There is a lot more to say about this topic than I did in this small vid, so if I forgot something or you have something to add, don't hesitate to do so. If you wish to do your own research, the links in the description might be a good start. Your thoughts and opinions are much appreciated, so drop a line in the box below. Just be respectful in the comments, as there are real people with real feelings on the other side, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!